What is up? What is up, YouTube? Daniel here for another video. Crazy, crazy this video because today I do turn 30, and it's not the fact that I am turning 30 that's crazy, but the fact that I'm in the place where I am internally at peace, which is the craziest part. And it's crazier because I'm in a place like Naples, Italy, which is somewhere I visited 2 months ago, and I was able to experience now again. This was a gift, a birthday gift that was given to me by family. But the thing about it, it's not something I asked for, it's not something I needed. It's something that came as a consequence of me just being grateful, at peace. And I mentioned this in my Instagram story, but I was perfectly happy, okay, being at home, waking up, same time, being able to thank God, pray to God, go for a walk like I'm doing now, share some wisdom connected to the source on my story, and then go to the gym and train. And I was okay with that. You could say another day, but another day growing and just getting closer to God and growing in that way. But this is something that 2 years ago, literally my desire was to be in Ibiza, surrounded by vices, chasing women for sure, at a music festival. And that was my plan. I even told a friend I'm going to be in Ibiza when I'm 30, do my party there. And now when I think of Ibiza, I just think of vices and temptations and just so many devils that I'm working on removing every day with my routine. And this is crazy. Like, I'll show you where I'm walking, and you think, how is this crazy? This guy's in the middle of nowhere in Italy, and this is all I need. I don't need any kind of party or music or girl or experience with women or drugs like I thought I needed 2 years ago. Like I said, I just need this. This is already more than enough. Being able to walk and connect. And I feel a crazy connection now, which is peace, it's gratitude. It's not desiring. And that's what I want to talk about, is the power, the real power of literally not desiring anything. And that is something that people have a fear of, because I think that's like apathy and like not having any goals, and you're just basically, it's almost like you're depressed because you don't have anything you're working towards. And that is something I believed for so long, and a lie that I was consumed by is, if you don't have something you're chasing or a goal or like this anxiety to like get better, then you're not growing. And if you think about that, that's the way you're operating. And the way you operate is literally everything, in terms of, if you're operating in lack and thinking that way, that is what's going to manifest on the outside. And the energy, because the only thing that the world responds to is energy, your vibration, your frequency. It's not, what you think. I mean, that's the law of attraction, but the way you're vibrating, if you're grateful for where you're at first, as opposed to being in lack and having this necessity for something to happen, then that's what the universe will respond to, you being in lack. But as opposed to you removing the right things, learning to be grateful with what you have now, even if it's this. And people think, like I said, you could think and watch the video and be like, oh, where's the party? It's your 30th. And I don't need it. I mean, I have my family that's healthy. I even pray today for everybody that I love, have ever loved, to have a good day, to have a beautiful day, a day full of love, peace, abundance, like I'm feeling right now. And like I said, I didn't need this, and I was given this by God through family. And now I'm just enjoying this. waking up at the same time, being able to go for a walk. Just everything else is a bonus already. Waking up, seeing another day, and removing the right things, and suffering in a way. But suffering. Okay, my apologies. The video cut out there. But I was saying that what you think is real with your thinking, God does not respond to, or the world, which is run by God, does not respond to. It responds to energy. Where you're at in terms of your vibration, your frequency, if you're thankful, if you're not, desiring anything else, you think something else is external. And it's only when you're in that place and being able to be grateful for something as simple as waking up, being able to open your eyes, still be able to see, breathe, speak, walk, take a sip of water, use your arms, use your legs. There's people that, can't even do that. Don't even have arms and legs. You're able to go and suffer and go to the gym, exercise your body, work your mind as a consequence. And these are all the things. This is crazy. I'll show this book. That is 6 a.m. in Italy. But we're able to do these things and just be grateful for the small things. Everything else is already a bonus. Like if I'm grateful, like I said, I'm grateful for being able to simply wake up and just walk and breathe and smell and hear. And now I'm in Italy experiencing this again like I did in June. So the best thing you can do is, as I'm walking by this restaurant here, the best thing you can do when you are in a place where you don't appreciate anything and you simply have to think that everything is external is you have to begin to remove the biggest things that you're seeing are removing you from getting to that place where everything is internal. Because right now, like I said, I'm at peace. I'm at peace to a point where if I go to the gym and I connect more with God, that's all I need. The rest of the day is already a bonus. So as a result, everything you get, it just adds to the gratitude, as opposed to when you're operating in lack and you want to have a plan. Let's say, like I wanted when I was 28, I wanted this plan of, for my 30th birthday, I'm going to be in Ibiza and everyone's going to come and we're going to party and music festival, and then I'm going to meet a girl there and sleep with her. And then, that's my 30th birthday. As opposed to that, waking up, being able to shoot this video and explain that the way to fulfillment has always been in your hands, but the devil, which is the ego, he uses desires to get you out of that power and think that it's somewhere else. And then society just knows that, and it makes you fall more into that trap. So they sell you this, you need this car, this money, this, you need to be doing this for your birthday, and whatever it is, as opposed to realizing that the true gift is already given to you, which is waking up and having all your blessings still with you. And then from there, being able to suffer in the sense that you're able to beat the spiritual, or beat those battles that the devil is giving you. It's all spiritual battles, of temptation, lust, wanting to oversleep, wanting to overeat, the vices he traps you with, alcohol, drugs, women, lust again, and all these things that distract you from living through spirit and living in a place where you're simply detached from an outcome. The spirit doesn't need anything. When you see a kid that's 4 or 5 years old, all they need is a day. They need the day to explore and let that thing, let the spirit just guide them. They don't think, they're on their head thinking or like writing down like, oh, this is my plan for the year, and like all these things that saw online and thought was the way to live was trying to plan everything and organize everything. And what you have to begin to do is give your power, your thinking over to God. He has the steps laid out for you already. You may not believe that, and you want to not believe in destiny and like write your own script. But I mean, that's just putting this humongous pressure on you. You're trying to fight the world with the devil, which is more world. The world is full of all these devils that people don't see. But when you reach the place where you realize it's you, your spirit, and God against these devils that try to bring you down and get you into thinking and trying to get you into control, that's when the game actually begins. And like I said, you're able to be at a place where you're thankful, and as a result, you get everything as a bonus. That is where everything is at. So I want to make this reflection because, like I said, 2 years ago, it's completely different what I wanted. And I thought I needed, or this desire that, I thought I needed of like being somewhere. And I thought, oh, if I'm in this place, I can, I'll take pictures and people will be like, oh, look at his lifestyle. But that's all, no one cares. Like, no one cares about what you're doing or something external that you're getting, because your ego wants to trick you with something external. It's, how are you feeling? How are you right now if nothing else happened with your day? Are you thankful for the day? Are you thankful being able to wake up and simply see another day and connect with something bigger? It doesn't have to be God. It could be the universe. It could be, I don't know, Buddha if you want. Choose something that's above you and your mind that is controlling you right now and making you make decisions based off how you want to feel, which is also an illusion. You can't control something external making you how it makes you feel. It's you yourself and how you feel internally without that it's going to control. Like I said, peace is the ultimate goal. Not desiring. Gratitude, joy, abundance. Being in love. Being able to operate from love where you don't need anything back. You can just give and give. And you don't expect anything in return. That is the ultimate goal. And I'm recording this video, but I'm looking at this. Like, it's crazy. The fact that I didn't even have this desire, I was happy with being where I'm at. God gave me this to enjoy. And enjoy in a way that I can't even describe. Because it's like your parents, when you're a kid, giving you the biggest present or the biggest gift you ever wanted. Maybe it's, I don't know. For me, at one point, I remember it was like a PlayStation I wanted, and I got a PlayStation. But I can imagine it's like me getting that PlayStation that day, and on top of that, getting, I don't know, soccer shoes. I was so in love with soccer at that point, or like all these other gifts that I keep getting. That's how it feels like when God gives you a day and you're grateful for it, which is the best gift. And He gives you this. He gives you a trip to another country, or experience maybe with a loved one, or you reconnecting with somebody. Like, all these little things are all a bonus. But when you just appreciate the gift that He gives you, which is another day waking up, and you don't desire after that, and you just enjoy in peace, and you're able to do the habits that bring you away from temptation, then from there you can begin to enjoy and see everything else that He's giving you. So the path to that, like I said before, is suffering for Him. So removing the things, the biggest vices that cause you to think that there's a feeling somewhere else. For me, it was women, it was lust, it was even music, drugs, of course, the biggest one, drugs and alcohol. If you're doing that, just, you're trapped in this huge cycle of feeling. But even music, something I thought was like, oh, music is therapy, and people think that, oh, I can't live without music. You can live perfectly fine without music. The thing is, you have this huge feeling attached to the songs you're listening to, and like the love songs, and like, you know, especially like the music that I was listening to was house music. This feeling of euphoria you get when like the beats and all this stuff. That's all the mind creating that, which is the devil using that against you. You don't have to create these feelings when you do something like that or experience something external. There's some things that you create or you allow the devil to create to control you. So when you hear that euphoric thing, like, oh, I have to go listen to that music live or this DJ live, it's gonna be so much better. And then you get into that environment, and then the environment's full of the same people that are looking for that feeling, and they're like, oh, I want to feel that way. And they start taking, drugs to feel better, and like start, trying to get that high of the music plus the drugs, and then they want the high of the person they're with. So they want to hook up with somebody or to bring someone there so they can have the feeling of sex plus the music plus the drugs. And it's like all this feeling, and they're like, think about how controlled by the fucking devil you are with that, man. Think about how much he controls you with that, as opposed to you waking up being grateful, sober, where you're in control of all these desires that are trying to control you with feeling. You're sober. You're not doing drugs or alcohol. You're eating well. You're eating clean, so your mind is clear. You have mental clarity, so you're actually able to be aligned and, find your purpose and what you're here to do. Your purpose isn't to get lost in drugs and music and alcohol at some festival, or get lost in lust and just chase women like I did. I thought that was my purpose. My ego was telling me, yeah, go for more to get this experience. Now you get this. And like you can post it online and people will care, and no one actually cared. But it's learning to live and operate with gratitude first and God first and peace first, and the rest comes as a consequence. And then a result of you being grateful for what he's giving you, you suffer. So you suffer mentally with removing things, physically by pushing your body in the gym, getting it stronger, so that in turn grows your mind and helps you fight these temptations. But the temptations are fought with God. It's not fought with you thinking you can do it yourself and your ego. You're trying to use your ego, which is a tool of the devil, to fight the temptations, which is also the devil. It's like you putting the devil in a room to, you think you're fighting against the devil, let's say in a video game, but it's all just the devil against himself. That's all it is. And you watching as he destroys your fucking life. That's essentially the best description I can give you. You're not in the game against the devil until God is with you. And you have something above yourself that is doing the thinking for you and guiding you and helping you in those times where it gets hard, because there's hard days. You can say this is of course, a beautiful day, but in terms of, the battles, this is a good day because I'm able to wake up. And sometimes there's times where it's hard to be grateful. You have desires of things that come up, and like you have these temptations and things that you think you need. And that is the days where you get in your head, you get stuck in ego, you don't even notice it, your frequency goes down. But everything's perfect. Everything is supposed to go the way it's supposed to go so you can grow and learn and stop fighting it. You have to stop fighting the present, whatever it is. If you have a bad day, like I said, like that, or maybe something happens that you didn't want or think was supposed to happen. Everything's perfect. Everything's supposed to happen the way it's supposed to happen. So from there, when you have your faith in God and you put that first, then you can begin to just follow the steps he has for you. And that's when everything starts to change, and you have to take this pressure off, all the anxiety you have, this thing you want to control, and these external events you want to happen. If it doesn't happen this way, then like, oh, for instance, if I didn't have this party this way and I didn't sleep with someone, like, shit, what a bad birthday. And like, I used to have all these expectations, especially when I started going out, and like, oh, I have to get this from a girl, and like, if I don't sleep with somebody, it's ruined. Like, all that stress that puts on you. I remember times I couldn't sleep because I didn't like hook up with somebody, or like couldn't finish a date or whatever it is. It's like all this stress you live with for something that's not even real. It's all an illusion. So I'm telling you this from experience, from someone that has seen the other side, to the point where you can't sleep, it stresses you out, and it's not even real, to now being able to record this at peace, pray for others on a day where, before I would be like, oh, who's going to wish me happy birthday? And like, focus on like me. And now I'm just want to share this peace with everybody, this gratitude, this joy, and be able to get you into that place, because that's where you want to be. It's not desiring more things and like needing more feelings from the things you think you want or are going to get you. So that is the message that I want to leave you guys with as I reflect another day around the sun, but most importantly, a day where I operate as a way God intended us to, which is through gratitude and peace, and Him giving that to us as long as we suffer for Him and remove the devils that we have or that we don't see that are guiding our decisions to chase feelings. So hope you guys enjoyed. I've been walking for about, feels like an hour and a half now, but you could say that, but it feels like 10 minutes. But yeah, I'm going to go back, and the gyms are closed here in Italy on Sunday. Right now it's Sunday, so I brought some resistance bands and travel with those whenever I travel and just do a quick workout and suffer. And like I said, when you live this lifestyle, people think suffering is like, oh, I don't get to feel something, but you enjoy that. You enjoy not needing to feel anything and knowing as a result you get a feeling of peace and alignment and not having to depend on feelings for everything you do, because that's all fake. Like right now there's probably something in your mind where like, oh, if I get that, oh, I could feel this way. That's all fake. It's all an illusion. And until you get that thing multiple times in one area like I did, and you're like, okay, this is not it. Like, I get the thing, I get a little high, but then my baseline goes lower and I get more and lack and I need something else. You keep going and going. You're like a hamster in a wheel, just chasing. You're like, oh, you're like a drug addict. You're just like, oh, it's this. It has to be this one. But then when God through the devil, they're both there, and they show you where life is going to go if you keep going that way. That is when you finally let go and realize this is it. Like, I'm not meant to live this life. And God's tool to get you on the path is regrets. When you start to regret things that you used to do openly fine before, that is when you're on the right path. You have to start listening to that. Stop listening or ignoring your conscience. You do something wrong, doesn't feel aligned. Alignment is when everything is thoughts, words, and actions are in one place. But if you're misaligned, is when you start to feel regret, shame. Maybe you overeat one day, or you don't go to the gym, or you go to a party you shouldn't have. You start taking drugs, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this, and you keep doing it because your friends. That is regret speaking to you. So start to listen to that, and that is the best thing I can tell you, because that is God trying to guide you. Regret is His roadmap to where you should be going. But if you stop listening to that, you start working for the devil. You keep working for the devil more and more. He has you, and that's when you're, I would say, completely fucked. But there's always going to be regret there, trying to pull you back to the other side. But it's your responsibility to listen to that. That's what I want to end off with, because that is huge. That's going to help you like crazy if you actually pay attention to that. And the macro things that we talked about, because that's not, you won't be able to understand that where you're at with your ego, but that will come to you as soon as you focus on removing the right things and the micro thinking of the regrets. So that is the message on this beautiful day. Crazy. Got my cardio in, and yeah, I'm gonna go suffer a bit more and just enjoy this day. Like I said, it's already a blessing being able to wake up and breathe and walk and smell everything. And now everything else is already a bonus. So hope you guys liked the video. More can be followed on my Instagram. I post everything there, my habits, talks, ways I think, and especially from travel, how I help to keep the devil away and get more connected, which is super. That is the whole journey. So anyways, comment below if you guys got any value, especially on your special day where you're trying to chase a big feeling and think it's somewhere else. And maybe this deters you from that, which is my goal, or what I wanted from the video, not the goal. But much love, guys. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, as always, keep killing it.